you probably heard of the term, the law of attraction, and you're probably wondering, like, what is this stuff? How does it work? Like, how do I make sense of this stuff? The mind, you know, all these things are thinking. Or you may be considering that this stuff doesn't even work. And you know what? By the end of this video, you're gonna have an idea if this is for you. I'm gonna try to explain it as simply as possible, the law of attraction, how this stuff works, and you can decide if this is something that you want to put more time and effort into understanding, or just completely leave it alone and say it's not for me. When it comes to the law of attraction, what you may have heard of, what we most get sort of caught up on around this subject is to create the life that we actually want, to get the things that we actually want, because from a certain perspective, we know and we believe that anybody can achieve anything, right? We know that we have everything inside of us as a human being, with our natural resources that we are given, that we could aspire and achieve all the things that we imagine. Everything that we see other people doing, they are not special people. We are all built the same way, and we can achieve those same things. And the law of attraction brings this into reality to say that regardless of circumstance, environment, the people around us, that we could actually determine what happens in our life. Now, how, when everything goes against us, how are we supposed to break through and actually achieve things, right? When circumstances, maybe we weren't born in the right place, our family has certain circumstances that are just unfortunate, how can we still get to the place and get those things that we want and earn them for ourselves, right? And the law of attraction brings this into context by bringing it back to the source of our reality, and that is our mind and our thoughts. The images that we see on the screen of our mind will dictate how things play out. One of the main things about our mind and our thoughts is that, guess what? We can actually think. The thing about a human being is that we have thoughts and we can think. And we know that we can think. We are conscious of this. We can observe our thoughts. We can think a certain thing and laugh and think about that funny, embarrassing moment that happened. We can think about something that is very sentimental that could just bring us to tears. We think of that moment, or we could even think of something that really pisses us off, and we could just get mad in any moment with nothing happening in our external environment, right? So we don't need to be pressed or acted upon for us to bring something out, right? Everything can happen in our mind, and our mind can stimulate our whole body for these different reactions and feelings and emotions that can come forward. And the law of attraction will say that we have control of these thoughts, believe it or not, depending on, you know, all these things in the news and what people say to us. We actually have control of what we think of every moment. And to know that we have control of our thoughts at any given moment is the key to this law of attraction and creating the life and experiencing the things that we actually want to know that we actually do have control. Someone put it in a way that really kind of struck me, that said, the only thing about a person, the only thing that makes a person who they are is their mind. Everything else can be found in a pig or a horse. Now, that is a very shocking statement, but also might have some truth in it, is that people are people because we can think and we have control of our mind and how we use our mind. And that will dictate a lot of our circumstances that come forward, that come in our life, is how we use our mind. We have full control of our mind. So the law of attraction is going to say that we have to focus on what we want in a positive, in an anticipating, joyful manner, right? It's not enough to just think a certain thing, to think of a car, a job, a relationship, or some sort of vacation or holiday experience, right, as a blank image. It has to be fueled with strong positive emotions. So when we start to remove ourselves from acting and thinking in this physical world and letting our external circumstances dictate how we are, we get on the mental plane. and we start thinking, we start using our mental plane, we start acting from a higher source. We start acting from a higher source, and that can have a great influence over our circumstances and things that we want. For example, like we said, those things that we do want, that job, the amount of money, a status, going to an event, whatever it is, we think of it and internalize it, and we use our key faculty of our imagination. Our imagination is infinitely flexible, and we can recall on these images, on these things that we want continuously. We can continuously place in our mind through like a goal card, reminding ourselves of the things that we want. This will imprint that on our mind, and when we do have a strong emotion that's correlated with it, especially love, when we bring love into the equation, it can fuel these ideas. It can fuel our body. When we bring love into it, our feelings and our emotions are on the highest level that it can be, and from there we can act, right? Having those emotions and being consumed by it makes it easier to act. The actions will follow. Once we have those thoughts and we know where we're going, we have clarity with it, we visualize it, we use our imagination, then it becomes much easier to take action. One important fact is that we do have to focus on a singular thing, or a singular thing in a certain way continuously, right? In today's world, with our phones and emails and people talking to us in messages, notifications beyond imagination, the amount of screen time that we have, it is just scrambling our mind and scrambling our focus. And one main key to getting what we want is that we need to focus on it. We need to concentrate on it continuously. It's not enough to think about it one time passively throughout the day and just be like, oh yeah, I really would like that thing, that new car, the new job, and just forget about it. This needs to be focused on. We have the control over our mind to focus on certain things, and this is how we need to use it, by focusing on the things that we do want. And you can know if it is something that you do want by the feeling that you get from it. So when you bring up a certain subject, whether it's my job, my employment, my career, you can have a certain feeling towards that. Just by hearing the word career, job, or employment, you might get a deep sinking feeling in your stomach saying, oh no, this is not where I want to be. Or you could get a feeling that is empowering, that is exciting to when you do think about your career, that you're on the right track, that this is going towards a place that you see in your mind. And those two different emotions from hearing that one word will show you that if it's based off of fear or if it's based off of a higher, more empowering emotion like love. One other thing about the law of attraction is that what we say about ourselves does come true. The words I am hopeless, I am struggling, I am doing very badly, whatever it is, those things do come true. And even at the same time, when we say, you know, I am progressing, I am going towards my goals, I am strong, I am healthy, those things do come true. And whatever we repeat about ourselves does come true. So pay attention. The first step is just to become aware of this. When we're looking at the law of attraction, we have attracted everything in our life so far. So if we don't like the results, we have to look back at what we've been saying about ourselves in our mind. Whatever we say in our mind comes true, expresses itself all the time in our external reality. So pay attention to what it is that we're saying in our mind, and the results that we have and that we don't want, and pay attention to that language. Because I am, or the world is this, all the men, all the women in the world are bad, there's not enough women for me, there's not enough men in the world for a relationship. When we say those things, they do come true. So rather than taking what other people say or things that we've heard and don't necessarily agree with, we need to be the creator of our world and our reality. And it's not to disregard what we see out there or what has happened to us or what we're currently experiencing if I'm in pain, but it's to take our attention away from that and focus on something better. Focus on something where we do want to go. I don't know if you've ever driven before, but when you make a lane change or you make a turn, You don't look in the opposite direction and turn this way. You won't know where you're going, right? If you see something happening over there, you know, when you drive on the side of the road, what happens? You can't really focus on where you're driving. That's why when there's an accident on the side of the road, someone else can sometimes get into an accident because they're not focusing on where they need to go. Instead, we're caught up on all this, you know, chaos going on the side. And the same goes for your life, your goals, the things that you want, to focus on the things where you want to go. Visualize them. When you have spare time on, you know, you're on the train, or you have a spare time, you get to sit down without a phone and you just get to relax. You can visualize and experience the things that you want in your mind and feel the feelings of what it will feel like when it does come true. And that is a powerful technique of visualization to get you to the place where you want to be, on a different plane of vibration. Just from sitting down and visualizing, you can increase your vibration to the point of where you want to be. So in a way, yes, this is positive thinking. This is thinking the most optimistic things that you want for the place that you want to go. But it's not just that. This is just a basic video outlining how this works. There is incredible amount of science behind this, the law of vibration, and how these things work to attract things into our life by using our mind. By using our mind and thinking differently, this is how we can do it. Now, depending on how old you are, how many thoughts that you've thunk, how many thoughts you have thought repeatedly will have an influence on this. The more ingrained certain thoughts are, the more time we've spent thinking about the same thing over and over and over again is going to play a part in that. Just like a routine or a habit, our thoughts are routine and habit. 90% of them are the same thoughts that we had yesterday happen today. And that happens consecutively over years and years. So to try to take a different approach to this can be a bit uncomfortable. Even just hearing and listening to this video can feel a bit uncomfortable, but we gotta start somewhere if we wanna change something in our life. And we start with our mind and where we're going, what we can see, the direction that we were trying to go in. I hope this video helped to explain a little bit about the law of attraction in the most basic form, how this works, how it can apply to you, how you can benefit from something like this in your life. My name is Darren, and thank you for listening. Take care and have a great day.